We're now going to head down to the most southern tip of Africa to meet composer, record producer, musical writer, arranger, and the most respected session bass player, Mr. Edgar K. Mzai. Welcome.
Hey Laz, thank you so much for having me. It's been such a long time since we last spoke. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good. Where exactly were you calling you today?
Today I'm at home. You got me today. I'm at home in Port Elizabeth.
The reason I'm asking, because last time I interviewed you, the signal was really bad and you got in your car and you drove up the southern cape of Port Elizabeth to get a better reception, but it certainly looks better today.
Yeah, it is. Thanks to fiber, hey? Thanks to fiber.
Thanks to fiber. Now, like I said, you wear many hats in the musical industry, where singer, writer, composer, all that sort of stuff. But like yourself, I'm very interested in traditional African music played on original instruments like the bow lyra and the kora. When did you first get interested in that style as well?
So basically, that's the first type of music or genre of music that I got exposed to when I was still young. You know, when I met my mentor, Mr. Chakachawa Sarira, who is a Mbira maestro and an ethnomusicologist. He is the one that introduced me to the Mbira, you know, at a very tender age. I think I was around about 9, 10 when he introduced me to that. So that was basically my first love, and I fell in love with African music since then. You know, so he taught me how to play the Mbira, and he introduced me to different sounds and instruments that come from Africa.
It's the rhythms as well, and I'm not quite sure. I know a lot of drummers who obviously like the rhythms, but guitar players who, like myself, always got an angry amplifier going and a hot pickup. But it's just sometimes just to come home and just to listen to the way it builds up in layers, I think is quite remarkable.
That's one of the most special things about African music. It's based on rhythm and feeling, you know, that's what makes it really special and really different as well.
Do you have a favorite instrument from that genre?
I do play the mbira, which is I think you would know it in the UK as the kalimba, but the original instrument, which is from Africa, is called the mbira.
Yeah, that's right. We call it a karimba and marimba, I think, in the UK.
Yeah.
So let's do your role as a session bass player. You've played many styles, and I've noticed in a lot of your videos, jazz seems to lead the way. Is this a favourite style of yours?
Yes, I am a lover of jazz. More especially, I love world music. Because I'm a session bass player, I have to learn these styles, and I have to sometimes work with people that focus on jazz, you know, which is an amazing genre. And I grew up listening to a lot of African jazz. I mean, African music is my first love. So yeah, it's jazz, but African jazz is what I really love.
A classic question, who have been your influences over the years?
I'm a huge fan of Richard Bona. Again, because of how his music relates to the type of music that I listen to, the type of music that I love. It's really deep-rooted in the African sounds as well, you know, which is what makes it a complete package for me. So Richard Bona would definitely top the list for me.
So lockdown, social distancing, the virus, different countries, how's it affected Port Elizabeth, and what was the music scene like before?
The music scene was quite vibrant before the lockdown. We had a good thing going on, and the peak of the music scene starts from round about, say, April till the end of the year. Things start picking up. So it has really affected us, especially with the lockdown, the pandemic itself being so hectic that the entire country had to be put on level 5 lockdown, which means there was no activity, none whatsoever. You had to stay at home. So it's been really difficult, and also it's been really bad in terms of the actual income. There's no work, there's nothing to do. You can only do so much virtual concerts. Yeah, it's been tough.
It certainly has toughened musicians all the way around the world. Very, very sad. But let's just hope it starts to pick up. There's signs it's going to happen, but fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But I know even in lockdown, you've got a lot of projects going on, haven't you? Tell us about some of your projects.
Actual, tangible projects. We had to put a lot of things on hold. I remember the last time we spoke, I told you about Notes of Hope, which is the community-based project that I was busy with, and also Too Much Bass, which is the workshop for bass players and more musicians as a whole. So we have had to put that on hold because of social distancing and the lockdown regulations and stuff. I'm currently just focusing on the album because that's what I can do without any restrictions at this point,
That's great. You're putting something back, which I respect that big time. Let's just have a quick look at some of your bass guitars.
This is a Cort A6. I don't know if you can see, it's written there, Eddie Bass. Yeah, if you can see there, it's written Eddie Bass. That's a signature. Canadian maple, a bit of rosewood, on the fretboard, and it's a neck-through bass. Really cool. Bartolini MK5s, electronics, that's the pickups. Sounds really amazing.
Edgar, it's been an absolute delight to talk to you down there in South Africa.
Yeah, man, thank you so much. It's been great catching up with you. It's been a very long time since we last spoke, man. You still look the same, though.
Well, I'm trying. And I like your shirt.
Thanks, man. I got the memo. Look at your shirt, man.
We'll swap shirts over the internet. Listen, take care, and I'll speak to you soon.
Sure, bro. Keep all Lars, and God bless. Keep safe, sanitize, and stay alive.
Take care.